The trip is over and already I can't wait to start planning the next one. We kind of knew this was a big risk, monetary, time out of the office, time away from family, but I think you need to take these big risks sometimes to see what else the world has to offer. I don't think there's many places around that big globe where if you dropped your finger on it somewhere, there wouldn't be carp present and available to be caught. And I can't wait to get the next one underway.
Go on now, read us a little bit of that girly diary of yours.
Bro, I can't read it out to the camera, bro. Like, it's not a journal or a diary. It's just some notes I've got for the trip. Like, it's just a few little bucket list things I'd like to do.
As if I was actually going to keep a journal for this. I'd be far too busy carp hunting the whole time. Well, at least that's what I pictured in my head leaving Heathrow Airport in April 2024. Mark and I booked a flight to Tokyo, adequate extra luggage, and ventured off into potentially the biggest fishing adventure of our lives. Biggest adventure in probably the smallest vans we could find to squeeze a 4-man crew into, plus all of our kit for a little more than 2 weeks. I was so buzzing for this. Japan has always been a dream destination, catching carp in the most incredible locations and exploring a new country at the same time. Yeah, this one has always been super high up the bucket list. But the truth is, it's not just a box ticking exercise. Things don't always go to plan, especially if you're out on your own for 2 weeks, living off vending machines in 7-Elevens, trying to find carp in the biggest cities, catching them at the biggest lakes. Just trying the very best to create memories and get that catch pick that's so hard to beat for the rest of your life. Put simply, a carp fishing adventure even way beyond my wildest imagination. Mark and I had talked about an adventure like this for a long time, and at times it seemed like it would just never happen. So sat in this izakaya in central Tokyo having dinner, it felt proper surreal. We were all excited for the carp fishing ahead, bouncing ideas, sharing our expectations, going through a rough itinerary, knowing that this would be the last time we were having a proper meal before leaving civilization. Neither of us had been to Japan and of course Tokyo before, so why not? Let's at least check it out a bit first.
This type?
Koi.
Yeah. In here?
違う違う。
No.
船。koi っていうのはね、ここにこうひげがあるんです。
The barbels. Yeah, okay. I'm just thinking they don't land them. They got 2 meter width, bruv. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
どういたしまして。入れてよかったんだ。戻りがそれが重要だから。変わったんだ。ブルで。ブル。アメリカのテレビ局かなんか。ちゃんとしてるやつだったよ。
Excuse me, is there carp inside? This is proper, mate. This is like we've gone to the other side of the world with zero information, zero intel, no fixers, no support. And the best I can do is try and hold a phone with Korean on it, and they're all laughing at me, going, it's Korean! What chance do we have?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe like big ones, or
No.
Is there plants in the lake? So.
Yeah.
You don't know?
Yeah, I need to
Check. Yeah, understand. Tuna?
Tuna.
In
May.
May you see them?
Yeah.
Okay.
fish in the
oh, you speak English?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Have a nice day. Thank you.
That's the plan. Now we're going to drive onto the beach. We're going to build a camp. We're going to have some nice food together, and we're going to chuck some rods out. Solid?
After leaving the bustling noise of the biggest city in the world, our first stop was Lake Shoji. A sparsely populated area, it's actually the smallest out of the 5 lakes around the incredible Mount Fuji, and was formed with its eruptions, with just a few hotels along its volcanic shores. We definitely expected mild spring weather, cherry blossom, and crowds of tourists chasing the iconic view of Mount Fuji in its full glory. And it's the reason we came here too. It was all part of the dream. The iconic view of Mount Fuji, turning the dream backdrop into a catch pick. They say at this time of the year, the chances are just 50-50. What are the chances to catch a carp then?
Cold up here. We saw snow on the way, didn't we? I didn't. I slept. Some people saw snow allegedly.
I promise you, it's nice.
We don't even know how many carp in here. We don't really know if there is a carp in here.
Yeah, that's true. I suppose we'll find out.
Wir sind hier an einem See, wo wir genau ein Bild von einem Fisch gesehen haben, also einem Karpfen. Keiner weiß, ob es den einen Fisch noch gibt oder ob es noch mehr gibt. Ja, aber jetzt machen wir auch die Nacht hier, weil, ja, ist halt Nash, ne? Make it happen. Sieht nicht gut aus, aber vielleicht drehen wir trotzdem einen raus.
I'm not gonna lie, it was looking pretty bleak. And casting into a lake with potentially no carp in it and very little chance of seeing Mount Fuji, let alone getting a catch pick with it. Oh, and on top of that, I had a stinking flu-type cold thing trying its hardest to take me out of the game.
We're fishing in Japan.
There is only one thing you can do at times like this, and that's simply staying top-tier positive.
I'm telling you, I'm catching.
Yeah, confident.
I'm catching. I feel so poorly. I just know I'm catching. It's going to be a real nice one. Mount Fuji's going to appear. And then Mark's going to catch one. We're going to have a brace shot.
Manifesting it.
It's just... No fish, no liners, no beeps. What a place to wake up to. Morning, Mark. Anything?
As the morning went on, more and more people gathered along the lake. A few disappointed tourists who also wanted to see Mount Fuji, as well as plenty of lure anglers, not a single carp angler amongst them. We just got a little tiny glimpse of it, but Mount Fuji just wouldn't show itself, and neither would the carp. And just like in carp fishing, it can all be about timing, right place, and being lucky sometimes.
How mad's that? I'm like, beep! Stop! No one's noticed it. I'm trying to drive, and I'm just like, there it is!
As we were driving off, the clouds finally cleared and our moods lifted. Yep, no carp, but we did get that iconic postcard-like picture with a beast behind us. Yeah, we got to see Mount Fuji, and yeah, it blew us away. But where were the carp, man? Fishing is deeply ingrained in Japanese culture, with its industrial practices such as whaling often being criticised and controversial. On the other hand though, there is an immense deal of respect for the fish. For example, every piece of sushi is prepared with the utmost care. There's actually a lot of meaningful similarities to the European way of carp fishing. But what about recreational fishing and the Japanese angling culture?
My heart is racing. Literally. I'm in my element. just in my element, mate. Girls, we're going to Tokyo.
It's all part of the experience. We wanted to immerse ourselves in a different angling culture, and if sitting on plastic crates with a 1.5 metre whip, trains rattling above your head, if that's what they enjoy doing in Tokyo, then we simply had to give it a go ourselves.
Jesus, it's full of them.
It's the big one.
It is the big one.
You could call it a proper pay lake, but it felt way more like a social gathering. Something for friends and families to do together, or just a way to unwind after a stressful day at work.
That one went under the concrete, yeah. Whoa. Big bite. Let's carry on the adventure, but a great thing to experience. Didn't travel all this way to sit around a concrete bowl. Let's get out of here.
Catching carp from the sickest locations, I mean, for sure that has always been a massive driving force for me. It was really great fun and the perfect introduction to the Japanese fishing culture, and an opportunity to catch our first Japanese carp.
I kind of don't want to get there and go, oh no, didn't bring a pod. Oh no, didn't bring a, oh no, didn't.
To be honest, Mark too had dreamt for many years about coming to Japan, and actually had a trip planned pre the pandemic. And even though we fished a lot together, Japan is definitely the biggest adventure we had taken on. Yes, we do have the trip roughly planned out and somewhat organised.
Way over. Now the fun and games starts.
But just like the Banx trips, we both agreed we wanted to keep it as a genuine adventure, winging it, load of scopes crammed into a rod tube, sleep system hide, the bare essentials only. Kind of making it a trip that is accessible to anyone if you wanted to do it badly enough.
Smidgen under.
Which also means dealing with a bit of hustle to get things started. We absolutely had to find a tackle shop. I've been in contact with James at UK Carp in Tokyo and arranged to go and collect some pellets, pigeon feed, gas and a stove. And of course, the almost traditional raid the shelves of a local supermarket for all the sweet corn they have, plus anything else that might be remotely edible to a carp. The most mundane part of your everyday carp fishing equipment, well, they're the hardest ones to get if you have to drive all over Tokyo to find an outdoor shop. And for the simple things, like a bucket,
I'm hoping we can walk to one, bruv. I don't want to drive anywhere
just need
else,
to get creative and find an out-of-the-box solution. And let me tell you, them hot dogs taste exactly the same on the other side of the globe. But once you get past all that, you'll find yourself lost somewhere, just a few hours away from Mount Fuji. And if you truly love fishing, well, then you can find an adventure anywhere in anything.
Crazy. There's this stream here which is tap clear, but full of rubbish. This is like one of my favourite bits of having a big adventure. Yes, you have some kind of structure, some kind of schedule, but you can also just deviate out of it and go, let's just go and have a look there. Let's just go and have a quick look here. And although this one's brought a little bit of disappointment in terms of the pollution issues and the rubbish and the fact there's no fish, Mark's found another one on Google Maps, and we could turn up there and literally have your mind blown. And that's all part of the fun. The unexpected, the unknown.
Still a bit of a risk travelling that far for the unexpected.
What, to Japan you mean? Yeah, somewhat of a risk. But wouldn't change it for the world.
When you lock in with each other like that, then we were right close, and you know you had eye contact with each other, and you heard each other, and that's the way you just lock into it, you know. And once you locked into it, you had it going. When the horn started to hit, then you thought big band, and you just, to me, that was, hey, hit with the band, and that made the whole thing sound like it was exploding, you know.
Den 300. Versuch und den kleinsten aus der Gruppe. They're so hard to catch, and I missed 1 or 2 chances, but yeah, the smallest from the group.
These ones are like more rewarding than. Do you know what I mean? Like, they mean more. They're like lure fishing.
It is lure fishing. I would like half an hour more.
That's a fight, bruv.
Look good, didn't they?
I've done my fair share of driving around for hours and hours searching for carp. I'm used to this. It's kind of what keeps the excitement for me. And if you keep looking, eventually you will find them, even in the most unusual of places.
Oh, look, there's other fish in there. See them, Mark? Look, dace. Yeah, look.
Yeah, I'll see.
Didn't come across this place just by accident. Mark had found out about it whilst doing Google research before the trip. Guchu Haichi Man, or the Water City. It's a place where the past and present flow together. There is canals carved through the city built centuries ago, and everywhere you look, carp glide through the streets, a symbol of strength, perseverance, and the pursuit of greatness. In Japanese culture, the koi represents the ability to swim against the current. The town is deeply connected to the spirit of the koi, and they even have a children's festival where they put up colourful flags that represent the hope that the children will grow strong and resilient, just like the koi swimming upstream.
Milkers. There is milkers.
Multiple.
Look at the size of him, bruv! stretch of the legs. A very, very surreal experience. A tiny little stream, probably a foot and a half deep, chin clear. And yeah, the four of us were in our element, you know, like kids. Like, it's probably there for kids. It was super special, nice to see them, nice to touch them, nice to feed them. But now we go again, 2 hours, 20 minutes, to the biggest lake I've ever fished. It's massive.
Found them.
Yeah, right. Big uns.
Well,
and the best bit is, I thought this was Mark's little bay, and it's not.
It's not.
I got here and I was like, Mark, this is not a little bay, mate.
Mate, mental. Massive sheet of water, and you found them. Just like that. How many? 3?
2 different ones.
2 different ones. Bloody hell.
I wish it
No, it's not even.
I can't blame Bastel. I was getting ahead of myself too after finding 2 decent carp with a moonshine megalite just minutes after arriving there.
Good one.
Yeah, real nice one. Plump as well, like denture game. But this gaff, it was absolutely enormous, and we got a big job on. This one we really wanted to work out.
What does that leave us with? Not too much yet. Yeah.
After hours in the car and arriving in the dark, we had to stick our heads together and come up with a plan of how we were going to actually tackle this place. Yeah, like you say, this is all clear up here, isn't it?
It's steps in it. There's no parking, man. Nowhere.
Yeah, I think you're right. Let's get on it.
Yeah.
Should we just park in there? Or park in rock, mate?
Got a feeling it might pop off tonight.
Have you?
Yeah. It sounds mad, doesn't it? On like fishing an inland sea, but like.
So big. We got a chance. We've actually got a chance. Japan's biggest lake.
Ich wusste nicht, dass das Ding hier so ein Tantensee ist. Ist ja wie der Gardasee oder so von der Größe her. Also, keine Ahnung. Vielleicht auch nicht, aber er ist riesengroß. Wollen uns da jetzt nicht um ein paar tausend Hektar streiten. Wir sind beide keine Wurfangler, das ist gleich. Ich fische gern Kampagnen, ein Gewässer, ein ganzes Jahr. Das kann Alan ja gar nicht. Und ich glaube schon, dass einen das dann halt auch prägt. Er ist halt absoluter Opportunist und will dann auch alles geben. Das verstehe ich auch vollkommen, wenn er dann die Chance hat. Und trotzdem glaube ich manchmal locker durch die Hose atmen. Ist auch gar nicht so verkehrt. Wir haben alle Fische am Ufer gesehen. Deshalb 3 Routen am eigenen Ufer halt.
As much as it's a big lake, any big lake I've ever fished, you always just try and break it down into a manageable lake. So I'm ignoring what's in front of me. I'm not saying there isn't food out there and there isn't shallow areas out there, but it's April, man. They're getting in the edge, or they're starting to get in the edge. They're starting to look for shallow areas. We've had a couple of really warm days now in the 20s. And yeah, you're always looking for a feature of some description, some structure, lily pads, weed, an island, and a little handful of slush, and a couple of tigers over the top. I don't know any different. That's the attack. What do you think of my spot anyway, Bastel? Let's have a fish. Look. Carp. Carp. Let's do fish up there. You did see it? I saw it. Very clear as day. Big comment.
I need some sleep, mate.
That noisy road directly behind kept me awake all night. And to be fair, there was only a few hours to sunrise anyway. And as the day broke, the place got even busier. The lure anglers showed up. One of them being a kid named Kato. He was curious about all my tackle. He'd never fished for carp, let alone seen a carp angler before. Fishing for me, it's always been a way of connecting with people wherever I go. So I felt it was only right to have a little session with him. And with a bite from a carp dwindling as the sun got higher, I thought, well, even if I don't catch one here, at least I've introduced one young lad to carp fishing.
Great to meet you.
Thank you.
Pleasure, mate.
Although we were going into this night with very high hopes, super confident I was going to catch, we needed to come up with a new plan.
I watched this morning, 25 metres from the bank, this big common roll, drop down, bubble up, stop, move along, bubble up.
Yeah.
So it was like, I was this close, if you know what I mean.
I think today is the day to look, because tomorrow's raining.
I don't think like it's worth just running miles of concrete bank, because this is a tiny part of Biwa. The bigger lake is.
Yeah, this isn't the lake.
This is only a tiny bay.
No, you know the bit we fished?
Yeah.
It turned out that it was actually just a little bay, just a part of the lake, and we'd only scratched the surface of it.
It has got a very Skidar vibe though, innit? And minus the lily pads. And yeah, we've kind of made a call on it now. We had like some ideas and plans in our head of where we were going to go for the next 2 or 3 days. And it's here. Both of us really want to catch a carp from Japan's largest lake, and certainly the largest lake that both Mark and I have ever fished, maybe ever will fish. Coming in at 165,000 acres. That's just mind blowing.
Are you catching one then?
What, from here? You bet we are.
Some of them lure anglers must know something. They must have come across carp at some point. Mark was right. It wouldn't make any sense to walk miles and miles of bank in the middle of nowhere. The carp could literally be anywhere, hiding away in some industrial harbour or somewhere kilometres out in the lake itself. So as the pursuit to get amongst them continued, talking to anglers we'd come across along the way, would you believe it, even carp anglers at one point, who were super friendly as we tried to glean as much info from them as we could. That was our best bet to get set up for our second night on Lake Biwa. But finding solid information on Biwa turned out to be tricky. On the other hand, finding carp in a random bit of canal along the way wasn't that tricky at all.
We're not even that small. He said, make sure you keep your eyes out on the way out. And there's a small stream here. Some really lovely commons. Mark's just getting his sawn off ready. And I'm hopeful that we're actually finally going to catch our first proper Japanese carp before heading back to Biwa for a very late night, no doubt. It's going to be midnight again before we even consider getting the rods out. But hopefully this will lift spirits. Hey Mark, are you ready? It's bread on business time.
No.
Fishing? No. Here. Okay. Oh no. Okay. This side.
凍ってるやつやから。
Okay.
わかりますか？
Sorry.
見てください。
Go on this side.
読んでください。
Okay.
ダメです。
No fishing.
はい。持ってください。
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, we were close.
We were close.
入れた時はこのぐらいこのぐらいだって40年4 years.
Put them in 4 years ago and they've grown this big.
I was really starting to realise that the Japanese, way more than any other nation I visited, they had a heartfelt, genuine love for fish and fishing, and their connection to the water ran deep. With no fish caught that day, it was another late one at Lake Biwa. We'd been going off gut instinct up until this point, stopping at floodwater gate structures along the way, just any spot that looked like an interesting feature. But we also knew it was time to get serious. Just hopping from place to place wasn't going to work, and with a big weather front rolling in, we needed to stop searching and start fishing.
Be a bit cheeky and just bring my car to here. Obviously you'll park it in there at night, but I don't think anyone will mind that. For the unload, I mean.
It's pretty relaxed about
And yeah, it'll be one of them, Mark, whether I do it tonight or we do it tomorrow. We've obviously got a lot of park that we need to cook.
これがもう最後のあ、最後？うん、じゃあすっきりしたね。あとは自分の木工の趣味の
Bit of yellow.
Turning up late, total darkness, just like the night before. Trying to stay focused and stack the odds in our favour, even though the situation didn't exactly look promising. It was starting to feel like a bit of the same old routine. I'm not going to lie, turning up to Japan's biggest lake with no boat and hoping to catch one from the margins in just a few hours isn't ideal.
Carp.
But then we always knew that. We were limited with time, limited in knowledge, limited in tackle even, but at least we'd packed as much decent bait as we could, using up every last kilo in our luggage. Loads of scapes with flakes, stick hooks, liquids, and of course coat-coated hook baits, as well as some sweet candy tigers and tiger nut slush. Yeah, we didn't have much of this premium bait, but it was time to give them our best efforts at the most attractive mix and hook baits we could, choosing a really decent reception point to hopefully stop any passing carp.
Take it in, live the moment.
Does it look tiny? Oh, stop it! Mate, seeing Bastel and Brad last night like 2:45 in the morning after literally having just caught this. It's up there, man. It was a massive, massive buzz for me.
I've just had one!
Yeah, caught one. Lake Biwa, Japan's largest lake. Wallop! Look at it! It's tiny. It's never been a that big one. I don't need to catch a 20 kilo. I needed to catch one from Japan's largest lake. And I did it! Right, we go again. Let's go. On with the adventure. Just buzzing, man. Super, super buzzing.
Well done, boys.
Lying on my scope fourfold, under my hide, with that terrible, heavy, cold rain battering down outside. I never thought I'd actually take this one off the list. But since I did, what do you do next? I guess you just keep on searching for that next bite.
Do not take the fish, but it doesn't say anything about do not catch the fish.
Basil and I went on a big mission in the surrounding area, specifically checking out the river leading into Biwa and the big flood defence gates we'd fished. And Mark decided to stay put and keep his rods in the game and try and catch himself a Biwa carp. He'd invested a lot into the area in terms of constantly topping it up with bait, with lots of fresh attraction.
Normal carp.
I, on the other hand, I was restless, and the numbing sound of the rain hitting the bivvy had worn thin. I was off to see what I could find.
Look.
See him bow waving along the surface, bro. This makes me happy.
How about your headache?
Yeah, my headache's just gone. It's just literally gone. In a split second. One coin. Come with me, mate. Come on. You know when they say seagulls are a problem in England, you know, you can't throw in stick any boilies out because the seagulls come and get all your bait. Big carp. Oh, look, Bastel, quickly, two big ones, real big ones. Bastel, quickly.
Yeah.
Look.
Yeah.
Go get a rod. Surface. Watch him, see that one out there? Look. When they talk about nuisance species, you're usually talking about like brie, maybe big rudd in Europe, karasan. It's definitely turtles in Japan. They are the nuisance species. Ninja turtle. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
They're so spooky, man. I've been shaking for 3 hours.
It's ridiculous.
I know.
Wow, that was difficult. So difficult. Jesus Christ. I thought I was going to have to go to hospital for my heart.
Wow. That, I'd love to say, was loads of fun, but it's actually done my heart no good. It's literally the river of 1,000 casts, probably 2,000, maybe 3,000. I've just been drifting the bread. I've had some massive carp come up and look at it, but almost nothing has actually eaten anything. But there it is. Like I say, fish of 1,000 casts, incredible. The rain's coming in now like it's a torrential downpour. I don't know whether to stick it out here or head back to base camp. But for now, yeah, feels like a massive achievement, big tick in the box. What up? Yeah, buzzing, super buzzing, made up.
Yes.
I can't remember the last time I had to work so hard for a fish. Although the buzzards and terrapins were a pain in the arse, constantly messing with my bait, I couldn't wrap my head around the fact that a big shoulder carp right at the surface would ignore a bit of bread. It must have been simply too alien to them to understand what it was. The barbel on the other hand, well, let's just say I got completely sucked in. And if it wasn't for Basto urging me to get going, I'd still be at that little stream with my sawn off, rolling a bunch of worms and getting a bite each cast. Mark continued putting a shift in at Biwa. He'd seen carp showing over his spots, but again the terrapins forced him into constantly replacing his rigs and topping up the spots with fresh bait. After investing so much effort into the area, I completely understood why he didn't want to give up on it after just 24 hours and stayed put. I was a bit undecided what to do next though. There were big fish right in front of me, yet they were behaving mad strange and were so hard to catch. Those carp had certainly come together in a group at this particular point of a long river, and it looked to me like they were gathering for spawning. It was so cold. I just couldn't make any sense of it. But that's fishing. It's never plain and simple. As the evening wore on, my mind drifted and I kept trying to piece together a solution. Is the bait the issue here? Do they just not understand what it is? But carp are carp. In the UK, in Europe, And in Japan. I don't know. Maybe carp bait is different in Japan.
Hey. No. I'm sorry. No problem.
No nuggets.
No.
Bread. So parking isn't great, mate. There's all these little side roads. These are like allotments. So this is where they were when we got here. But there was 2 other young boys fishing, and I think between me and Bastel and the 2 boys, we just pushed them off. But this is where they wanted to be. This was their natural place, if you know what I mean. A lot of standing off the bridge, but they don't eat. Maybe today's a different day.
Yeah.
Now that you're ready for your second lesson, let us look back and see what were the most important things you have learned from your first lesson. Welcome. Our record presents.
Okay, hold it a minute, folks.
Okay, let's begin.
Alan went on a little adventure. Pond dipping with Alan Blair on Lake Biwa.
That is a fine collection of freshwater snails. You can't crack them, they're like... Yep. If you'd have seen, or you did see, how awkward these fish were yesterday, and how I watched them feed on naturals, I watched them feed in the silt, I watched them eat off like reed stems and branches. Yeah, basically this is my big edge, I hope.
Now you tell me that ain't a bite.
And I either fish a short multi-rig or a long multi-rig, and that's it. It ain't caught me no more fish, definitely not. Do you know what I mean? And Ollie'd used it for years before I started using it. Now it's just like, ting, ting, new one, back out. Weird that, or nice that, to think that a simple rig change has made me just enjoy going carp fishing more. I just fish it with a little bit of 1mm silicone. And it's really easy to get over knots. It makes it easy to get the hook on and off. And all I do is just pop it on like this. So it becomes more like a slip D. Well, it is a slip D. Yeah. But it's not. It's a slip D where you can change the hook. That means I can get fishing quicker, which hopefully means you catch more fish. No, I don't think I used to be that quick.
Good to the last drop. From now until your next lesson, we want you to study carefully every section of Lesson 6 and to go back over Lesson 4. Practice carefully, and you will be ready for the new techniques and new situations we will cover together in Lesson 4.
Perhaps I haven't improved in terms of speed. I'm often over meticulous with my fishing, but one thing I have learned is that good things take time. I know it's a pretty cliche thing to say, but I truly believe that if you put in the extra effort, meaning that it takes you a little longer, it will get you a better end result. And from Mark's point of view, good things come to those who wait, and that's what he decided to do. He knew he'd established an area out there, his rigs were on point, he was fishing on his terms and happy. For Mark, hopping around catching them from a little river is just not his thing, being a German big carp hunter. So I totally get why he wanted to stay put and continue trying to make it happen. But I love all kinds of fishing, any size of carp, any venue type. No matter where in the world, the sound that gives me that buzz is always the same.
Oh, we're back at the scene of yesterday's 1,000 casts. Let's go in just there. Lovely. Is that bite? Bruv. That rod has been out It couldn't have been out longer than 15 minutes. Oh man, what a buzz. Me and Bastel just looked at each other like, is that a bite alarm? And it was absolutely one tone in. Bastel, you know what there's a chance of? You getting a Japanese carp. That's what there's a chance of, bro. Get this one in. Yeah, get this one in. Get this one in. So powerful in this flow. Mate! I promise you I'll get a good one, Bastel. And that ain't it. We're gonna get a bigger one!
Good fish?
Yeah. It'll make the perfect brace shot. That's a turtle on that one. I need to sort these alarms. Long Japanese commons. Absolutely mega. You see a tiny little hint of koi in this one. Some little orange flecks, and boy do they fight. You can see they're up this river. Obviously they've come from Lake Biwa, but yeah, the plan's pretty fluid. We go where the carp take us, basically, and it's taken my breath away, man. And to share the moment with Bastel as well, it was absolute carnage. It was bite alarms going off everywhere, turtles picking up rigs, and then these two amazing carp, and it didn't take long, man. Put quite a lot of bait out as well. They obviously finally realised what the good stuff is, and they've made an angler very, very happy.
Look at this side, Bastel. Look at this dorsal. Big dorsal. This is a big one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Told ya. Hi. Hey. Hello.
Yeah, nice one.
Thank you. What the actual? It kind of feels a little bit like Lake Blair. Oh man. It's one of them. Could probably stay here and just keep catching. But yeah, of course I could stay here. If I could do a night here, I could do a couple of nights here. No, that's a truck reversing. I'm tired. How long have we not been to sleep for? 48. It's worse than the Euro Banx in terms of sleep.
It's beyond worse.
It's beyond Banx. Ollie used to do all the driving, or a lot of it, the bulk of it, so I'd sleep, do you know what I mean? That's how I had all my energy. This time, I've done all the driving and just not gone to sleep. The pressure's massive. For me anyway, like above and beyond any Urban Banks or Euro Banks, the pressure for this particular trip has been obscene. Although I did a lot of research and I come with a strong itinerary, a strong plan, I didn't actually speak to anyone. We are going to go and meet Mushy and do a little bit of fishing with him, but the bulk of the trip, we're kind of winging it or going on gut instinct, you know, looking at Google Maps and going, that looks good. Or yesterday, for example, I'd done three nights blanking or 2 nights blanking on Lake Biwa, and I was like, Bastel, I can't sit here all day. I'm going to look for carp, and I found them. You know, and that is really rewarding. Kind of doing it off your own back. Yeah, I'm on gas, mate. So gassed. Right, let's do this one. Big one! Yeah! Yeah, of course. Yeah. You can see him. This one? Look at this one. Pardon? England. England, yeah. Thank you, bye-bye. That was a bit quick.
Alan, you're too quick. Alan, you're too slow. We needed to be quick as we had a long drive ahead. Mark and Brad had already spearheaded to another promising area where a lot of rivers connected. They had found carp and we were due to meet up to join forces again. But it seemed to be a reoccurring thing. These Japanese carp, they just weren't interested in bits of bread.
And again, showing zero interest.
Not on the surface, nor on the bottom, not even slow sinking. We set up camp underneath a bridge, and although expectations weren't high, the morale in camp certainly was. The dreadful weather had finally gone, and we got to enjoy a lovely evening together.
Beautiful, mate. I love it.
I knew it. I knew it. They were here yesterday in the daytime. They've come up from the lake and they've gone back down to the lake. Massive shame. This is the first night I feel I've wasted. I've blanked quite a few of the nights, but I didn't feel it was wasted. Put loads of effort in, you know, finding areas, baiting, fishing effectively. But last night I was like, I ain't catching. You hear that? The ice cream man. You want an ice cream? Yeah, need to get out of here. I'm not wasting another minute. I'm packing up. I'm grabbing one sawn off, bread, try and catch one of these. Not confident. Get on the road.
Where are we going next?
We're going, I really struggle with this. Bearing in mind it's spelled K-O-Y-T-O, Kyoto, K-E-Y-T-O, Kyoto. We're going to Kyoto. I'm not really fine. Like, the boys want to go and look at some temples for the film. Let's go catch some carp, man. Let's go catch some carp.
I wasn't feeling super confident, but still decided to give it another go before the others woke up. I at least had to try. Maybe this time a wriggling worm would tempt a quick bite. I kept things quiet, watching my shadow and moved slowly and carefully. These fish were so easily spooked, but nothing really worked. They showed absolutely no interest in my hook bait whatsoever. It felt like spawning time was just around the corner. The carp seemed far more focused on feeding on the kerosene eggs than anything I could put in front of them. Carp fishing is all about problem solving, and as much as I racked my head as to what I could mount on my hook to imitate fish eggs, this was a problem I just couldn't solve.
There's about 100 up there, over 20 pounds, including a load of 30 pounders, all stacked up, eating kerosene eggs. Absolutely won't touch nothing, gorging.
On our way to Kyoto, we came across a few more small rivers and a canal in a really beautiful little town. And as we know, it's always worth having a quick look around. So far the captures from this trip had mainly come from random river and canal spots that we'd stumbled upon. But we weren't the only ones in the area. There were tons of people with cameras, so our 2 cameramen blended in perfectly, just looking like they were there for the cherry blossom too. Mark and I though, we tried our best to stay as inconspicuous as possible. It seemed like a pretty touristy area and we didn't want to attract too much attention. We didn't know if fishing was or wasn't allowed.
Really big one. Just don't want to rush it. Make it count.
But it definitely felt like we were about to rob a bank or something.
You excited, huh?
Yeah.
Said it would be easy, but here it is. First Japanese proper carp. The last one wasn't good enough. How about this one?
Come on, boys.
First stop, a park lake we wanted to check out, and a lot of carp. Easy to find, yet so impossible to catch. So I followed along to do some cultural stuff, just being a good tourist for once. The Golden Pavilion in Kyoto is one of Japan's most famous landmarks. I think it's made from pure gold, and they made a pond around it called Kyoko-chi, the mirror pond, to reflect the temple's beauty. But we weren't too interested in all that. All we wanted to find out is there big carp stocked in it, but I behaved. I didn't want to risk showing a lack of respect and did what a good tourist does. It's a Buddhist temple after all, a church, and I respect that. Alright lads, are we done now? I wanted to go fishing again. That's my Zen temple. That's my religion.
Why? Do you have ticket?
No. No. But can we buy one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Private?
ここで釣りをしてはいけないことは知っていましたか?
Shouldn't fish here. Okay, yeah, understand. Yeah, no fishing. Yeah, understand. Yeah. Bring the 5-0 in, mate. Like they're bringing another one now. Yeah, literally.
What's the fact?
I don't know. That still could have diffused this nice and quickly by getting his phone out and doing a little Google Translate. I've carried on fishing, like a bit blasé. Mark's fishing further up the bank. There's no signs, and yeah, they called the cops. 5-0 turned up in en masse, and yeah, we can't fish it. So I don't know where we're going to fish now, but we keep moving.
This was our only chance in Kyoto, really. It's a spot we'd found out about on YouTube where some guys had fished there for carp. However, it was a different time of the year and it turned out to be a no fishing area whilst the salmon were migrating. Of course, an innocent mistake, but one that still drew the attention of 4 police officers, and another reminder of just how much fish and fishing meant to the Japanese. With no other spots to go on, we simply had to write off Kyoto and move on.
Probably not a shattered, baby. Late one. Again. Got up again before sunrise.
Yeah, it looks all good to me.
And all of that, is that all for me?
That's mine. That's all mine. Yeah.
Really good.
At this point, we've been on the road for a while now, and arriving in Osaka, we were treating ourselves to some decent food at a street food market, trying as many different delights as our bellies could take. And while some might go, "Oh, lovely, you got to enjoy so much nice food in Japan," with a handful of exceptions, the reality was somewhat different. And there is one sound to this day that makes me shiver.
Red Bulls? Or what the...
Living dream.
done. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Bye-bye.
The exploring part is what I like, the adventure, the unknown. But with every destination, your fishing starts from scratch. The Osaka metro area ranks second biggest in Japan, so just getting around eats up a lot of your day when you're searching for carp. To figure this one out ourselves, we simply don't have the time. If you've ever had an interest in carp fishing in Japan, there is only one name that pops up time and time again. And if you haven't come across his Insta profile, where have you been? He has got all the bucket list catch pics. Mount Fuji, the palace, and just the sickest urban catch pics you'll ever see. It was time to meet this legend of a man. Yoshihiro Mune, aka Munemushi Carp, is a former Japanese skateboarder. After exploring every skate spot Osaka had to offer, he went and done the same in carp fishing, and it was a great pleasure to finally meet up with him and get to fish one of his infamous spots.
It's the legend goo! I'm sleeping in the shipping container.
One roll.
A rod on that.
Just saw him coming up. Look.
Mate.
Have you seen that one?
I see him. Number 2 just gone over out there. There's a few more here, isn't there? Just when you think there couldn't be any more fish.
Yoshi wasn't exaggerating when he told us there were carp moving through the area as the tide was changing, and we'd seen a few show too.
See, bubbles coming up.
We got no time to waste, so I quickly swapped my bank sticks for rod pods, grabbed my scope rucksack, expansion pack, scope rods, and got to work scrambling over the wall with all the gear and getting into position on the edge of the ledge itself.
I'm sure we're going to have a lovely day today. And I've got a sneaky suspicion we're probably going to catch a few carp, which is a massive buzz. Massive buzz.
That's a bit of you.
Yeah, this is very not rural banks. Yeah. This is definitely urban banks.
The most urban you've been in?
I think so, yeah, man. Like, I fish big harbours and stuff, but I think like climbing up over the concrete and down in the shipping containers, and yeah, it's pretty naughty, mate, to say the least. Go fishing! Up against it today, we really are. Couple of factors. Number one, we're going to lose the water. It's going to go back out to sea, and with that we're going to lose the carp from this area. Speaking with Yoshi a minute ago, unlike some of the other tidal spots that these lads fish, there's fish here at the moment. I've seen them, they're rolling, they're bubbling, but they're not going to hang around here. We've probably got until 6 o'clock this evening, maybe 7 at a push, he says, and then after that, yeah, you're kind of pissing in the wind. You know the old saying, if the rigs are in the water, there's always a chance for a bite. That'll be the mindset I adapt. But listening to him, and he is the venue expert, it gets very, 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 very difficult to get a bite after that period of time. The other factor, and the reason we're on massively borrowed time, is I've got about 2 foot of shade left. The sun's coming right over my head now, and when it hits me in here, yeah, we're doomed, on the ledge of doom. Mate, thank you. Yes, 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 yes. You did well. Ikisamina.
Itadakimasu.
RG River, that's where Yoshi put us on. With its many rivers and canals, Osaka is often called the Venice of Japan. Some of the waterways closer to the bay are tidal and brackish, yet they still hold some seriously impressive carp. Yoshi had landed some real beauties from here, and if we got the rods out quickly, we might even just get lucky too. So much so that even the lads behind the cameras got a rod out. We knew he'd be staying in Osaka for a couple of days, finally leaving behind the endless driving in search of spots. It was a welcome change to get settled in, focus, and get a proper feel for the place. Hanging out with Yoshi, swapping stories and talking all things carp fishing, I loved it. And seeing fish rolling on the surface, it gave me so much confidence too. There was life here, something to work with. It felt different from the more random stops we'd made along the way. This time we had a proper lead, a local's insight, and of course that made all the difference.
Wow!
We're getting one.
We're getting one, mate.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, saw it, clear as day.
Mirror?
No, just a comment, mate.
Fishing has a way of bringing people together, no matter where you are in the world. And in a city like Osaka, where the rivers cut through the skyline and life moves fast, there was something special about slowing down, watching the water, and sharing that moment with someone who lived and breathed the same passion. I knew this was going to be one of the highlights of the trip.
What a moment to catch and share it with Ninja. Yeah, 2 mega commons from definitely the most ridiculous sort of harbour situation I've ever fished in. There's cranes, there's bridges, there's yachts, and sick carp. Man, the guys are up there. We're going to share a meal tonight together. Can't wait. I'm pretty sure there's a couple more bites to be had. Yeah, super special. Mad crazy environment. Yoshi, this one, tale of friendship. You know! Yeah.
Namura-san!
Look at that. So by now it's actually incredible, the whole trip as such, but Osaka is the absolute highlight for me. And I love it. Love every minute of being here. Crazy fishing, lovely people, best of times. Ja, ne? Ein perfekter kleiner Fisch.
didn't look like we'd be getting much sleep here either. It was something you just had to get used to. The city was alive, quite some contrast to the quiet rural areas we've been in before. Neon lights reflecting off the water, the hum of traffic, the sound of laughter from bars and party boats. It was a completely different world. And as night settled in and the tide pushed its way up the river, bite time was fading away. At least that's what Yoshi had come to experience fishing here.
Catch him where we won! We catch him where we won!
Mad, isn't it?
There you go, Nash.
Wow. Yes, bro. Yes. Look at that.
Mark and I have both dreamt about coming to Japan for many, many years now. It's finally become a reality and it just couldn't have gone any better. Meeting up with all the guys for sure has been a highlight, but just look at the carp, man. Catching fish like this, in backdrops like this. Yeah, it's everything we've both dreamed of. Definitely a trip of a lifetime. Can't thank everyone enough. Yeah, super, super, super special indeed. What a fish, what a trip. Thank you. Thank you so much. What a day. Again.
Yes, we did it. We caught carp from Osaka in one of the sickest locations ever. But it ain't over yet. We're not done. It's called the Venice of Japan for a reason, and there is way more waterways to fish. And one of them is iconic for its cherry blossom. With over 5,000 trees planted along its banks. The Okawa River is somewhere I'd seen a lot on Yoshi's Instagram and something I've been dreaming about for a very long time.
You got mentioned outfits.
I know,
Yeah, river condition is bad.
Okay.
So muddy.
Yeah.
But I think you can catch a few carps this mission.
For sure. Is low tide best?
Yes, high tide to low tide is best.
Okay.
And do you catch them all the time or just high to low?
Yes, yes, yes.
You can catch them all the time. Yeah.
I always come to here.
Yeah.
Only 5 hours.
Okay.
Now it's best here.
Now it's best.
I'm happy tonight just to catch some carp, bro. Like, whatever.
Yeah, lovely. Let's get going.
Yeah, we go?
That would be fine for me.
So we just go take for take?
Yeah.
I love take for take.
Yeah, me too.
Carve up, bro. But yeah, I love it. Take for take. You're going first. You first, me second. You third, me fourth. You fifth, me sixth. You seventh, me eighth. You ninth, me 10th. You 11th, you 12th. It's amazing. Thank you. It's
Maybe I was getting a bit ahead of myself, but I just couldn't hold back on the excitement I felt. This is the dream. This is why we came, and I was overly confident that we were going to catch. In fact, the most confident I'd felt all trip. What a spot, man.
Many great ones have been, but this is top 3 easy immediately. It's loud now. Yoshi said that at the minute the tide is rising, and from his experience that is not the best time, but since we're staying overnight, I think, please don't quote me on it, I think the tide is shifting every 6 hours or so. It was like an hour or so where it basically reaches its peak or its lowest point where it's kind of stable, and then it goes in the other direction. So if I'm getting this right, then somewhere in the middle of the night we should come into prime bite time, which I don't mind. Sounds perfect.
It's a unique item.
Just in a small Tupperware box.
Yeah.
And you build the receiver. You build the receiver as well.
Yeah.
Hello. He's built a bite and I'm out walkie-talkies. I'm sure it's amazing in the daytime too, but it's definitely got it's got a hell of an urban Banx feel to it, like with the metro, with the skyscrapers, with the convening river, like the rivers meeting, all the people. You know, if the carp play ball now, we're going to have the loveliest of times, no doubt about it. I've seen a few shows. We're going to share takes, which is always a wicked way to fish. I couldn't ask for any more. And we got time now. Done a lot of running around, a lot of flitting here, there and everywhere.
It's pretty firm, isn't it?
It's not bad. Yeah, we caught a few fish along the way, but there's been plenty of, not low points or disappointment, but plenty of blanking. And I think now we can chill out a little bit and fish this spot for the next couple of nights at least. And yeah, I just can't wait to see how it unfolds. I'm truly blown away.
Everyone's out of it.
First carp in this environment. Hopefully not the last to come.
Whee! Big buzz, man.
You nicely.
An einer Route was dran, was aussah wie so ein feuchtes Stück Klopapier. Das ist extrem ekelhaft. Aber ja, das hast du natürlich, ne? Bei so einem urbanen Gewässer hier kommt schon viel Zeug mit runter. Das habe ich eigentlich die ganze Nacht gemacht. Ich habe gestern Abend relativ viel gefüttert. Dann nach dem ersten Biss, aber immer nur 2 Hände Partikelmix hinterher. Ne? Unser gutes Taubenfutter. Yoshi hat es gesagt, ich meine 23 Kilo oder so. 23, 24 Kilo. Er hat schon mehrere 20 Kilo Fische gefangen. Ich versuche einfach immer wirklich frei von jeder Erwartung irgendwo hinzugehen. Du weißt bei Leuten auch nie, wollen die wirklich ihre schönsten oder besten Plätze mit dir teilen oder sonst irgendwas. Aber Yoshi ist halt jemand, der uns hier direkt wirklich an sein Herz geführt hat. Ne? Und ich habe es gestern, glaube ich, schon mal gesagt. Das ist auf jeden Fall Top 3 aller der geilsten Plätze, auf denen ich je gesessen habe. Und Top 2 der lautesten Plätze, in denen ich je gesessen habe.
Oh yeah.
We see him rolling this morning. We saw him jumping yesterday evening, didn't we? Yeah. So, yeah, we're in the right area thanks to our amazing guy Yoshi.
Big ups, rude boy.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. This is a lifelong dream coming true finally. Wow.
Big ups, Voosen. Big ups, Yoshi. What a moment.
Yeah. Come and have a look.
Sharing the buzz.
It's deep, it's like 4 metres, and throwing tigers in, yeah, if I had loads, fantastic. But I think with it being so deep, yeah, it's just nice to get not even that many, just a little handful. We're on massively limited supplies. I think we've got about 5 jars of tigers left. So I'm kind of rationing it. But it is nice to get a bit of bait around you.
We weren't just running low on bait at this point. I was running real low on energy as well. Nearly 2 weeks on the road, long days, late nights, and after replacing my scopes that morning, I finally cracked. I crashed. Big time. Even in a spot as loud as this one, with the constant bustle of the city around me, nothing could wake me up in that moment. No chance. I would have loved to have seen Yoshi's face. Just how utterly flabbergasted he was by our Nash Extreme buttlocks.
Alan, Marc,
want to see?
He's crying.
Oh,
you can have a look.
Look. Big fish. A carp, yeah.
Where are you from?
From England.
England?
Yeah, and we've come all the way to this special place to see the cherry blossom and to catch carp. It's been amazing so far. Amazing. Look at this tail, mate.
Oh!
Net! Fish! Go! What a buzz, man.
皆さんこんにちは。僕は大阪の宗虫カープジャパンです。大阪の街は食べ物が美味しくて、そして水の都で何より欲望の街、大阪カープはそういう街です。ぜひ皆さんも大阪カープをチャレンジしてみてください。ありがとうナッシュチーム。
Bye bye.
Next Big Mama.
Man muss sowieso immer alle paar Stunden kontrollieren, weil hier einfach halt viel Gemüse und Zivilisationsmüll runtertreibt. Und jetzt gibt es ein bisschen Futter oben drauf. Die Rigs werden eben nochmal super neu abgelegt, sauber neu abgelegt. Ja, und gestern ging es auch mit der Dunkelheit eigentlich erst so richtig los. Auch wenn wir eben einen Doppelbiss hatten, bin ich doch guter Dinge, dass vielleicht ja, gleich nochmal sich hier ein bisschen was tut.
Yeah, for sure I can fill it in with pellet and particle, but because the river's tidal, that gear ain't hanging around. You know, you'd have to keep doing it regularly. It's why I'm on the spot so regularly. I'm just going to lower this down now. There's a little stick there with some scope with stick mix inside, and there's probably 5 or 6 tiger nuts in there. It's not ripping the current, so I do believe that once it dissolves, the tigers are staying in the vicinity of the hook bait, and then I'll just kind of scatter bait, maybe 6, 10, 3 tigers around it. I'd love to literally be taking handfuls and putting it in, and I think the carp would eat it for sure, and I think you could probably get something going a little bit more. We just haven't got the bait to do that, so not being greedy. Just trying to kind of keep nicking bites.
As soon as the rods were out, the whole gang stopped by to have some food with us. Just like clockwork, the carp were coming for dinner too.
Bro, a carp is a carp, man. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Let's catch more, let's catch more.
Osaka is carp heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never wetted a carp off the mat and you get bits of cherry blossom on it before. And it's kind of why we came. Don't get me wrong, I came here to experience Japan and go fishing, but it was kind of all about the cherry blossom. That's why we picked this time. Japan's iconic for it. So I've caught a beast like this with a parade of cherry blossom behind me. Yeah, it's proper dreams come true stuff. I can't thank the lads enough, and most importantly Yoshi. Gassed is an understatement. I'm literally on cloud 9 at the minute. I've hardly been to sleep, not just last night but for days now. I don't care. Like, I'm running on the carp fishing buzz, man. Yeah. Big up Japan. What a creature.
Thank you!
Whenever I imagined how this trip would go, this was my dream scenario. More often than not though, things just don't go your way, especially in fishing. But this time, my cherry blossom dream became a reality. Everything aligned. The season, the setting, the people. It felt like one of those rare moments in life where you're exactly where you're supposed to be.
Good job, you.
The banks of Osaka are a truly special place, and I'm grateful to have experienced them at the best time of the year, surrounded by both old friends and new ones. All the pressure had melted away. We'd come for carp, we'd come for an adventure, for a story to tell, but we left with way more than just a highlight for the film. We left with moments that will stay with us long after the cameras stop rolling. We made memories and friendships that will stay with us long after the trip is over. Part of the journey that doesn't just end when we pack up and leave.
No sleep before me.
Fish have come alive this evening. I couldn't have wished for it to have gone any better. And best of all, you know, it's not been the carp fishing, it's not even been the amazing urban environment, it's been the new friends we've met. The people out here are just so friendly, both the anglers and the general public. Yeah, having the time of my life. Thank you so much, Osaka. Big ups Japan, man. Yeah, what a way to end a fantastic evening.
Thank you. What an evening, man. What an evening. The guys are getting packed up now. I'd love to say I'm going to get to bed, but the fact of the matter is, I'm not. I'm going to catch more.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bob. I'll see you in the morning. Big ups, Basil. Big ups, Brad. Killed it, bro.
Some shift, eh? Some shift.
Sick.
I've had the best time. Iki saki daki ma.
Just stop.
Itadakimasu.
Iki daki ma.
Itadakimasu. And finish, gochiso sama deshita.
Gochiso sama deshita.
I'll take this one. We good?
I wish we could have stayed a bit longer, but we had a flight to catch home and a long drive back to Tokyo ahead of us. It was time to say our final goodbyes to Yoshi. Without him, this Japan trip just wouldn't have been the same, in terms of, yes, catching carp, but more so in terms of making a trip truly unforgettable. It's time to roll.
Now that makes me sad. Makes me really sad.
Let's just say, finding carp in Tokyo, well, it isn't the easiest. Time to be a proper tourist again. Fresh non-camo clothes on and finally take a proper look around the city. We got some time now, and since we rushed through just a small part of it when we first arrived 2 weeks ago, it's time to see what all the hype is about. After all, Tokyo is the biggest city on the planet. I've never experienced anything like it. The rush is mad. Shibuya Square is insane and overwhelming in the best way possible. But that's what you do on a trip like this. Take it all in and absorb the energy of the place.
This town is a lonely town, not the only town like this town. This town is a make-you town or a break-you town and bring...
We're at the end of our adventure, and I can say that the dream of catching carp in Japan became a reality. And so did one of my worst nightmares on a trip like this. Brad had booked us into a hotel.
Not funny.
If you can even call it that. I never stay in hotels. Even in winter during all the shows, I always push myself to get the scopes out for the night. So this time should have been no exception, especially after everyone had told us that the carp fishing isn't that good in Tokyo and it will be tricky to catch one. No matter how many blanks, long nights or setbacks, I always try and push myself to the very end, because that's what I like doing. I always believe that the next cast, the next spot, it could be the one. And that's exactly why I'll keep going, to prove, not just to everyone else, but mainly to myself, that the reward is always there for those who refuse to quit. After all it takes is one bite. One thing I've learned, it's not just about chasing dreams or ticking things off your bucket list. It's about the people you experience it with and the ones you meet along the way. The shits and giggles and the moments you share. A catch picked from Japan is a rare thing to have, so for all of us to be heading home with one in the album means way more than just a successful fishing trip.
Anyone catch anything?
It goes without saying, this was a trip of a lifetime. But once more, I already cannot wait to get the next one underway.
He's happy. He's very happy.
Dan, you booked them flights yet?